Live now from the Pentagon with the latest from there. Ken?
Jody, relatively speaking, it's a quiet day here at the Pentagon. Relatively little activity behind me in the charred remains of the Pentagon, and the reason for that, we've been told, is this is now a search and recovery operation, no longer a search and rescue operation. And what that means, unfortunately, is officials here do not hold out any hope at all that there are any more survivors alive in that building. The death toll here, the good news is it's lower than many expected it would be. The bad news is the approximate death toll now stands at 190, and that would include the passengers on board that 757 who also perished when that plane collided with the building. The mission now for the engineers and the search and recovery team is to go in there and shore up the building and recover the remains of the victims. Also high on their priority list is to retrieve the black boxes from that 757. A couple of miscellaneous items here this afternoon in the nation's capital as well. Earlier this morning there was some sort of threat, perhaps even a bomb threat once again against the Pentagon. They briefly evacuated a section of the Pentagon. The all-clear signal was then given. At an undisclosed local hotel, we have also been told that officials are meeting with family members of victims and briefing them and breaking sometimes, in some instances, the bad news. President Bush visited the Washington Hospital Center earlier this morning, spoke with some of the victims and gave them a bit of reassurance. He also, as you probably well know and have perhaps even reported by now, he has declared tomorrow a national day of prayer and remembrance. He will remain here in Washington overnight, but then tomorrow he is expected to fly to New York City to visit, as he did the Pentagon last night, visit the scene in New York at the former site of the World Trade Centers. Once again, the news here, this is now a search and recovery mission at the Pentagon. Live at the Pentagon, Ken Malloy, CBS 11.
At the Pentagon.